And hopefully it piques your interest maybe about corn or other things that grow, and maybe things you didn't know about corn. I've never actually drawn it at this point where it's dried out. So you want to take one of these blue pencils, the Color Erase pencils by Prismacolor, and you could base in. So, when we measure out in the field proportion, this is about a third, maybe, of it, and then the ear of corn and the stalk and everything. If I divide it in thirds, I'm coming up pretty equal. And I did start sketching this because I've done it so many times today from different views. So one way to approach it is just to get the big shapes in. So we've got the oval with the kind of the stalk of the leaf kind of covering it. And with this pencil, it's really nice because you can erase it, and it's not a major commitment for sketching. But the other way I would suggest that you approach this is with what we call blind or modified contour drawing. You pick a part on the top, and you keep the pencil connected to the paper. If it's blind, you're just looking at the subject matter and you don't correct. It actually will not be a perfect drawing, but you'll observe what you're seeing really well. And then you can shift to what I call modified drawing, which you still keep the pencil or pen on the paper, but you can look up and down to check measurements. But the idea is that you go really slowly to get at first the contour. So one of the husk leaves, I'm going way too high. You can see over here that it's just rolling. It's quite beautiful in itself, even though it's dried and might not be edible anymore. Even if I microwave it, I'll have to kind of check that. And there's this, wonderful kind of roll here. On different views earlier, and if you got to see maybe one of the live version, I talk about looking at the negative space. So what is this space against that? And, can I create that? So I've got this dried out leaf right here. So for viewing purposes, I'm going to switch to my Sharpie or Micron pens. These are great. They come in individual different colors or sets, and it goes from a very fine 0.005 to a 0.8, which is thicker. I tend not to use the thick side of the Sharpie, but they're really easy to find. So I can already see kind of like what I need to correct. So here there's a nice kind of layer underneath it. Almost looks like a fish a little bit. I wonder if there's any correlation. So I'm going to say looks like a fish. I wonder if there's any connection there. Hey, think about it if you're familiar with drawing, it's like quick gesture drawings. Gesture drawings are really loose, rounded sketches. I was first introduced to them into what we'd call figure drawing classes in art school. And you would have to get the movement of the model, usually a nude model, pretty quickly. And with the series of kind of quick lines, seems to be some dark here. There's some interesting things going on here, but I'm not going to try and capture it all. There seems to be a lip on the edge of that stalk. A little bit of space, and then it gets bumpy again. So each time I've actually drawn this today, I keep seeing different things. Plus I've changed a lot of the direction of this. So if you were watching, and then I would take away the videos, I apologize today. Oops. So this is going this way. I have to bring this curve around. So if you just slow down, it can be very meditative and relaxing. Don't worry so much about what it looks like, but enjoy. Be curious about what you're able to see, what you don't see. Let's see. So this kind of curves up here, this little leaf, a little bit too thick, but, and then where does that leaf come in? You know, it's got kind of a curve to it. So I'm just kind of get some of this in order. Now, if I lean up on my chair, be careful because it changes your view. So if you go, oh, I didn't see that before, double check, because maybe it's not supposed to be really part of the original drawing that you started. Just by moving ever so slightly can change your view. So we kind of got that curve going. And let's see, this kind of extends out here. There's some nice curving of the leaves. Got that going. And then all these corn hairs. No, they're probably called something else. Just to indicate that's how everything connects, you know, paying attention to that, even as an artist. If you just draw, you know, 5-10 minutes a day, like I'm practicing it for the summer, just to observe, just the angst of drawing can sometimes just, you know, disappear because you're doing it more often. You're not as afraid to touch the paper. You'll be looser if you're working on maybe a deeper project. There's a lot of neat lines coming through here. Creases. Shadowing. I still think maybe that's not so good. It looks like a fish to me. So if you know, it's the same thing. Sometimes you draw a tomato or a pepper and they're both red, you know, what makes it look like the vegetable or fruit that it does. But here I'm just like really enjoying the curvature of when I'm drawing and the texturing of it. So let's see, this kind of stops here. Maybe it needs a little bit deeper line. And the last thing I want to share with you, and from this question, it looks like a fish. Maybe I would draw a fish on my nature journal and see which fish. So I'm looking at this up close, and obviously there needs to be some more clarity. So like this line is coming up first. Maybe I won't go with the thick Sharpie, but maybe I can make this line deeper so it comes forward. And this one as well. Just to kind of make it come forward a little bit. Let's see if we put the because there's so much overlap. Let's help you as the viewer maybe see it better. So now it comes forward. But I have to put other thick lines in because if not, you know, it's going to look weird that that piece is too thick. So looking at this little piece here, it looks like there's some part of the leaf stalked here. So I need to show that there's something there. And unsharpen the little angle that was inside. Just to make it clear. Then of course, maybe getting some, how do I get this piece to really come forward? And that could be next on your drawing journal. Don't feel like you have to learn everything. And some of these things are actually taught in drawing classes. So with that, I hope you enjoy. like, follow, share if you can, and I'll see you next time at Art Talks. I'll probably post another corn sketching picture that I did earlier. Thank you.